My hand shook as I clutched the pregnancy test, two crimson lines blazing like accusations. F*********ing Teletubbies, I swore, tears splatting onto the marble counter. 3 months ago, at the classmate reunion, I'd got tipsy and Adrian drove me home. The bastard took advantage. When I limped out of bed the next morning, he was already frying eggs, Thai perfect, looking absurdly civilized. "You were pretty enthusiastic last night," he'd said, adjusting his gold-rimmed glasses. "Why don't we try this, us? Try and die." Now we'd literally made a person. I fumbled my phone and WhatsApp at best, "I'm screwed. I landed the jackpot." She replied in seconds, "Adrian's? Who else?" I snapped a photo of the stick and fired it off. "The jerk told me last week he's flying out for 3 months. The phone buzzed, caller ID Sterling a-hole. My thumb slipped and I answered. "Sophie," Adrian's voice came, half laughing, "I hear you're pregnant?" My scalp prickled. "Traitor Maya." "She's my cousin," he said casually. "Come downstairs. I'm at your gate." "No." I shouted and hung up, then spotted his black G-Class lounging by the curb like a panther. 5 minutes later I climbed into his car wrapped in my down coat and announced, "I'm not keeping it." Adrian tapped the steering wheel. "Why not? What are we, exactly? We haven't even graduated from F-Buddies to exclusive." I ticked off fingers. 1. I don't love you. 2. You don't love me. 3. I love you. He cut in. I almost choked on my own spit. "Bull. Last month you said relationships are a hassle. Because it wasn't with you." He turned, behind the lenses his eyes were deadly serious. "Sophie, we've known each other 10 years. My heart missed a beat. True, from college classmates to workplace neighbors, he's haunted me. But, so? You caught feelings from sex?" I sneered. "Adrian, your mother lined up a blind date for you last week, don't deny it." His face darkened. "How did you know?" "Maya's Instagram." I flashed the pic, cousin lunch with a beauty, candlelight, Michelin star, you and some gorgeous woman. Adrian pinched the bridge of his nose. "That was my older cousin. I don't care if she's your aunt." I yanked the door. "I'm terminating, and you'll never claim it." Winter air poured in, I sneezed. He caught my wrist. "Sophie, try it and you'll regret it for the rest of your life." His stare froze my spine. I jerked free and ran, hearing him yell, "Slow down. You're pregnant." Back inside my apartment I collapsed against the door, panting. My phone exploded with messages, "Tomorrow I'm taking you to the hospital. Don't even think about a secret abortion. I know doctors at all 3 big clinics." Last line, "Sophie, give me a chance." I hurled the phone onto the sofa, suddenly overwhelmed. Why should his perfect face, deep pockets, and Olympic-level bedroom skills trap me into motherhood? Next morning I called in sick and sneaked to a private suburban clinic. I'd barely grabbed my registration ticket when I smacked into a wall of chest. Adrian glowered. "So disobedient." I spun to flee, he hooked me back. A nurse popped out, "Number 18, Sophie." "Oh, Sterling?" My eyes bulged. "You work here?" "Shareholder." He towed me toward the exam room. No escape now. In the ultrasound room, cold gel slid across my belly. The doctor smiled, 6 weeks, strong heartbeat. On the screen a tiny lentil pulsed. My nose stung. Adrian squeezed my hand. "Keep it, please?" "No," I said stubbornly. Unless what?" "Unless you marry me tomorrow." I tossed out the impossible clause. "And I want to see you cry before the ceremony." Adrian grinned. "Deal." I was struck dumb. The man ignored the script. Leaving the hospital, he drove straight to the mall. At Cartier, he pointed at the display. Pick one. 4. An engagement ring. He produced his wallet. Hurry, city, 9 a.m. tomorrow. I bolted. That night he camped outside my building. Peeking through the curtain, I saw him leaning on his car, scrolling through a wedding plan slideshow, hair tousled. Maya messaged, "My cousin's lost it, he just asked if you want a Chinese tea ceremony or a dream wedding." I replied, "Tell him I prefer the widowed single mom style." At 2 a.m. the doorbell rang. On the monitor Adrian hugged a cardboard box, hair messy. I opened a crack. "What?" "Marry me." He lifted the flaps, property deeds, bank books, a medical report, and a carton of pregnancy tests. "I bought these," he muttered, ears red. "We'll use one every month until you agree to baby number 2. I slammed the door, my heart hammered. Next morning I found him sleeping on the hallway floor. The instant I appeared he jumped. "City?" "Nope. I'm heading to the office, to resign." "Why?" "Gearing up to run away while pregnant," I said sweetly. "CEO Sterling, come catch me if you can." His gaze chilled, he hoisted me into the car. "Sophie, you're done for." Buckled in, I gripped the door handle as he sped. "You maniac." "I'm pregnant." "Then stop running." He smirked. "You think I have endless patience?" The car screeched to a halt, right at City. I clung to the doorframe. "Adrian! This is kidnapping." "Call the cops," he challenged. "Tell them your baby's daddy wants to marry you, and you object." I kicked, he simply carried me inside. Everyone in line stared, I buried my face in his coat. "Adrian! Put me down." "Say husband," he corrected. He set me on a chair and pulled out the household register. "I grabbed it last night." My jaw dropped. "Your parents know?" "Yup." Offhand. "Mom says the faster the better, big belly ruins the wedding gown silhouette." My vision went black. During the shoot the photographer told me to smile, I bared my teeth like a villain. Adrian pinched the back of my neck. "Smile properly or don't even think about sleeping tonight." When the little red book was finally in my hand I still felt dazed. "Married, just like that? Because of an accidental pregnancy?" Adrian tucked the marriage certificate into the inside pocket of his suit. "Now you can't run anymore." "Who says?" I shot back. "These days the divorce rate is sky high." He slammed me against a pillar outside City and kissed me. I panicked and shoved him, but the wretched man only kissed harder until my legs turned to jelly. "Mention divorce again," he said, forehead against mine, "and I'll make sure you're pushing a double stroller in 3 years. Help." The second we finished registering he drove me straight to his house. The moment I walked in I froze. Baby gear towered in the living room, crib, baby bottles, everything you could name. "When did you buy all this?" "Last night." He shrugged off his jacket. "I had my assistant on a shopping marathon." I crouched to look, even diapers were separated by size. Adrian wrapped his arms around me from behind. "Like it?" "It's over the top." "Not at all." He kissed my ear. "Our child deserves the very best." My nose stung. This wretched man being so gentle was killing me. That evening he insisted on cooking. Smoke filled the kitchen. I leaned in the doorway and snickered, the great CEO knows his way around a stove? "I'm learning." He frowned at the recipe. "I'll cook for you every day from now on." I was stunned. Before bed he insisted on rubbing stretch mark oil on me, circling my belly with feather-light fingers. I squirmed until he pinned me. "Hold still." Adrian, I whispered, do you actually like me? His hand paused, he bent to kiss me. If I didn't, would I have waited 10 years for you? My heart somersaulted. When I woke, he'd already left for work. Breakfast waited on the table beside a sticky note. Wife, stay put today. Tonight I'm taking you for your bridal fitting. I stared at the word wife until my eyes blurred. Maya called. So? Did my brother bully you? He forced me to get hitched. Ha ha ha, serves you right, she gloated. Who told you to stand up at the freshman welcome rally and announce that you wouldn't take Adrian even if he were free? Karma moves fast. That afternoon I sneaked out to the hospital. My progesterone was a bit low, the doctor ordered rest. I'd barely stepped out of the clinic when I saw Adrian, face like thunder, blocking the corridor. Running again? He growled. I cowered. Just for a checkup. He scooped me up bridal style. Home. Now. Once tucked into the car, I whispered, Adrian, I'm scared. His grip tightened on the wheel. Of what? That you're just on a whim, that one day you'll regret this. He yanked the car to the curb and turned to me, eyes deadly serious. Sophie, I'm 30, not 20. I know exactly what I want. Which is? You. He cupped the back of my neck. Always you. I smiled through tears. So cheesy. He leaned in and kissed me. Still not half as cheesy as the speech you gave about me at orientation. Great. He'll never let that go. The ceremony was set for 1 month later. Adrian's mother picked the date herself. Isn't that too soon? I protested, sprawled on the sofa. My bump hasn't even popped yet. Adrian flipped through the planner without looking up. Wait any longer and you'll miss the fitted silhouette. My new mother-in-law swept in like a general, armed with a stack of gown sketches. I greeted her timidly with sterling. She corrected me with a smile, call me mom. Save me, this family all share the same thuggish gene. On the day of the fitting he insisted on coming. I stepped into a mermaid gown, twirled once, and heard him gulp audibly behind the curtain. How is it? I spun again. His Adam's apple bobbed. Pick another. Why? Two-figure hugging. He scowled. Half the town's male population will be watching. I rolled my eyes, tried on several more, finally settled on a vintage palace style that swallowed my waist in layers of tulle. Adrian gave a grudging nod. Acceptable. As we left he tugged me back. Actually, about that mermaid one, Save it for after the baby. Wear it for me, only me. My ears burned. Had this man maxed out his sweet talk skill tree? That night he brought me to the ancestral mansion for dinner. The sterlings are textbook old money, one could get lost in that villa. My palms sweated rivers. Adrian squeezed my hand. Where's the girl who annihilated me in that college debate? That's completely different. I hissed. Right now I'm the vixen who seduced their precious son. He chuckled. And ran away while pregnant, don't forget. At the table his father asked gravely, are you too serious? My chopsticks clattered. Adrian answered coolly, the baby's coming, Dad, your call. His mom smoothed things over. Sophie dear, come over often. I'll brew you tonic soups. Outside I exhaled like I'd escaped death. Adrian suddenly said, Dad cornered me and asked if I'd coerced you into this marriage. What did you answer? I told him, he smirked, that you got drunk, slept with me, and now you have to take responsibility. I aimed a kick, he danced away, laughing, and pulled me into his arms. Come on, let's go home. Home. The word thumped against my heart. Morning sickness arrived with a vengeance. One dawn I was hugging the toilet, retching heaven and earth. Adrian panicked, took emergency leave and stationed himself beside me. He tried to brew ginger soup, managed to scorch a second pot. "Forget it," I croaked, "let's just get takeout." He refused, started over. Pregnant women can't eat random stuff. The final broth was salty enough to pickle seaweed, yet I drank every drop. He stroked my hair, gaze soft. "You're working so hard." Tears welled. "Adrian, will you be a good dad?" "I will." He kissed my forehead. "As long as you teach me." Maya dropped by for dinner, saw her brother in an apron slicing fruit, and her jaw hit the floor. "My brother can cook?" "Learning," he said flatly, handing me a plate of apple wedges. "Your sister-in-law likes them." Maya gave me a thumbs up. Legend. Turned my brother into a house husband. At bedtime Adrian cued Mozart for the baby. I laughed. "Kid probably prefers Jay Cho." He pondered, nodding. "Tomorrow we'll switch to Listen to Mom. I cracked up so hard my stomach hurt. He pressed his ear to my belly and murmured, "Behave, little one. Stop torturing Mom or Dad will spank you." "Adrian! You dare threaten my baby?" He killed the lights with a chuckle and pulled me into his arms. "Sleep. Prenatal checkup tomorrow." In the dark I secretly brushed a hand over my belly. Maybe this isn't so bad? At the appointment Adrian was as tense as a kid taking the college entrance exam. "Relax," I whispered, poking his arm. "The doctor's hands are shaking from your stare." He pressed his lips shut until the ultrasound screen lit up with that tiny silhouette. The doctor smiled, "Baby's perfectly healthy, about the size of a strawberry right now." Adrian stared, eyes suddenly red. I gaped. "You're crying?" "No." He looked away. "My contacts are dry." Stubborn man. On the drive home he crawled along at grandma speed. At a red light he suddenly squeezed my hand. "Sophie, thank you." "For what?" "Thank you for not actually running away." My nose stung, I whipped my head to the window. Less mush. Wedding prep moved at lightning speed. Adrian's mom, now my mother-in-law, is a detail freak. She personally inspects the ribbon color on the candy boxes. I whispered to Adrian, "Is Mom a little OCD?" He stayed calm. "Hereditary. I've got it too. Like right now, he caged me against the sofa. I have to kiss you for exactly 10 minutes before I let go. What kind of compulsion is that, huh?" Maya came as bridesmaid. While pinning the dress she whispered, "So what's the deal with you two? Really in love?" I popped a grape into my mouth. "Just muddling through." "Cut it out," she rolled her eyes. "My cousin's phone wallpaper is your prenatal ultrasound, disgusting." I almost choked on the grape. That night Adrian came home tipsy from a work dinner. After his shower he slid under the quilt, spooned me, and laid a gentle palm on my bump. "Any movement today?" "It's too early for first kicks." "Oh." His voice was muffled. "When can it kick me?" I turned and pinched his cheek. "What is the baby, a soccer ball?" He leaned in, breath minty from toothpaste. "Sophie." "What?" "I think I like you more than I thought I would." My heart skipped. 1 week before the wedding my morning sickness spiked. Everything I ate came right back up. Adrian rushed me to the hospital in the middle of the night. The doctor said it was normal and prescribed vitamins. On the way home I rested my head on his shoulder, exhausted. "Maybe postpone the wedding?" "No." He was firm. "I've waited too long for this day." I blinked. "How long?" "Since sophomore year, the day you called me a well-dressed beast." I laughed until my sides hurt. "Adrian, do you have a masochistic streak?" He pinched my cheek. "Yep. I love being tortured by you." The night before the wedding, tradition said we couldn't see each other. He texted at midnight, "Can't sleep." I replied, "Serves you right." 3 minutes later the balcony creaked. Adrian, literally, in pajamas climbed in. "Are you insane?" I hissed. "This is the third floor." "Missed you." He crawled into my quilt, righteously. "Just a quick cuddle." We fell asleep cuddling and didn't wake until the makeup artist knocked. I kicked him off the bed, he landed in a heap, ridiculous. While the stylist worked on me, Maya suddenly squealed, "What's that hickey on your neck?" I fumbled for concealer. "Mosquito." She grinned wickedly. "Oh, some mosquito." Slipping into the gown, I was so nervous I thought I'd puke. Adrian texted, "Don't be scared." "I'm waiting." 5 simple words and my eyes misted. When the music swelled, I saw him at the far end of the aisle, impeccable tux, eyes star-bright. Then, he cried. Full-on tears. That sharp-tongued CEO sobbed when I said I do, the tear landing right on the ring. Gasps rippled through the guests. Maya snapped photos like crazy. "Haha, I'm framing this." I whispered, "You promised you'd cry at our wedding." He glared through red eyes. "Sophie, you did that on purpose." During the ring exchange he dropped to one knee and proposed all over again. "Wife, don't even think about escaping this lifetime." I bent to kiss him. "Depends on your performance." At the reception he shielded me from every toast. His dad actually smiled. The brat finally acts human. When we reached our college classmates' table, the class president heckled, "Adrian, how'd you land our department flower?" Hand on my waist, he smirked. "Boarded first, paid the fare after." I stomped his foot, hard. Late at night he carried the exhausted me to the bridal suite and laid me gently on the bed. "Feel sick?" I shook my head, then remembered, "Hey, why did you always pick fights in college?" He lifted my veil. "Because you looked at me differently from everyone else." That was disgust, okay. He kissed my forehead, "But you were disgustingly focused on me." I closed my eyes smiling. This idiot. We honeymooned in Sonia. Adrian insisted pregnant women can't fly long haul. This counts as a honeymoon? I lounged on the hotel bed eating mango. A domestic hop? He spread sunscreen over my back like a spa pro. "After the baby comes I'll make it up with a 10-country Europe tour." Pinky swear. I crooked my little finger. He hooked his with mine, then bent down to kiss it. Seal stamped. Sunlight filtered through the gauze curtains, his lashes scattering tiny shadows across his cheeks. I blurted, "Adrian, you're gorgeous." His hand froze, ear tips burned. "Sophie, your sudden honesty scares me." I whacked him with a pillow. That night we strolled the beach. I craved ice cream. Adrian frowned. "Cold stuff's off limits for pregnant women." "One lick." I tugged his sleeve. He gave in, bought the smallest cup, and ate most of it himself. I kicked sand in fury. "Adrian, are you 5? Licking the cone he laughed, "Call me hubby and it's yours." "Hubby." He froze 2 seconds, hurled the remainder into the trash, cupped my head and kissed me. Salty sea breeze, sweet mint lips. "I'm doomed," he murmured, forehead to mine. "The way you say hubby is lethal cute." I pushed him away crimson-faced. Back at the hotel I rubbed my belly and sighed. "If we have a mini-you boy, he'll drive me nuts." "Let's have a girl," he murmured, stroking the bump, "a beauty like you." "Then we're really doomed," I muttered, pulling a face. "She'll inherit my temper and your pretty boy magnetism. Half the boys in kindergarten will be chasing her." His expression flipped in an instant. "Suddenly I don't want a daughter anymore." In the middle of the night a calf cramp jerked me awake. Before I could make a sound, Adrian snapped on the lamp. "Cramp again?" He kneaded the knot with practiced ease, his warm palm covering my shin. Noticing the bruised crescents beneath his eyes, I felt a pang. "You haven't slept properly in days, have you?" "It's fine," he said through a yawn. "I trained." "Trained for what?" "Prenatal care." He shrugged. "Enrolled in a class at the postpartum care center." My nose stung. The man who once couldn't even boil instant noodles now knew prenatal massage by heart. The next morning we took beach photos. I wore a loose sundress, my belly beginning to show. Adrian lifted the camera, then said, "Sophie, you're gorgeous." "Cut it out," I scoffed. "I look like a penguin." He lowered the camera and walked over. "You're the most beautiful pregnant woman I've ever seen." The sunlight was blinding, my eyes grew wet. On the flight home we hit turbulence. He clutched my hand so hard his knuckles whitened. "Don't be scared." "I'm not," I said, baffled. "Your hand is shaking." He squeezed his eyes shut. "I am." I understood, he was terrified something would happen to me or the baby. This man who could slice through corporate negotiations like butter was suddenly as fragile as a child. I leaned my head on his shoulder. "Adrian, everything's going to stay perfect." He kissed my hair. The day we got back, Eleanor had the nursery finished, powder blue walls, a cloud-shaped chandelier, the diaper table already assembled. "Mom," I groaned, "we don't even know if it's a boy." "No worries," she chirped. "We'll use the other color for the second baby." Adrian nodded beside her. "Right, 3, minimum." I hurled a throw pillow at him. "What am I, a sow?" That night, while we lay in bed, Adrian said, "I filed for paternity leave." "What?" I gaped. "Who'll run your company?" "Handed over the reins," he murmured, tucking me against him. "I'm all yours the final 2 months." I buried my face in his chest, breathing his scent, feeling safer than I had in weeks. "Adrian." "I think." I whispered, "I love you more than I expected." His heart slammed beneath my ear, arms tightening. "Say it again." "No." "Sophie," he growled, "you're doing this on purpose." Grinning, I closed my eyes. "Yeah, on purpose." Who told him to make me wait 10 years? By the 3rd trimester I was puffed up like a blowfish. "Adrian." I wailed at the mirror. "Where are my feet? Where are my ankles?" He was mixing my prenatal shake. He strolled over, crouched, and squeezed my instep. "Still here, just a bit cushier." "This is a bit?" I sniffled. "They're dinner rolls." He actually kissed my swollen foot. Adorable. Hopeless man. At our last ultrasound the doctor smiled. "Baby's healthy, head circumference on the large side." Adrian beamed with pride. "Takes after me." My vision darkened. Natural birth, still possible? The doctor hedged, "Let's keep both options open." On the drive home I fretted. Adrian drummed the wheel, then said, "Schedule a C-section." "Why?" "I can't stand watching you hurt." His voice cracked. I watched a natural birth video. I stared. "Did you cry?" "No," he snapped. "My contacts keep collecting dust." Stubborn man. 1 week before my due date insomnia struck. At 3 a.m. Adrian bolted upright. "Sophie, let's go to the hospital." "Huh?" "I'm not contracting yet." "My heart's racing," he said, palm on my belly. "I think the baby's coming." Sure enough, the exam showed I was already 2 centimeters dilated. "Perfect timing," the doctor said brightly. I blinked in disbelief. "But I don't feel a thing." Adrian turned chalk white. I knew it. Labor slammed into me at 5 a.m., I clutched the rail, gasping. Adrian mashed the call button. Doctor. My wife's hurting. The nurse stayed unruffled. First baby? You've got hours, save your strength. During the next 10 hours, Adrian aged a decade. Every contraction made him flinch. Eventually, I laughed between pains. Adrian, why, are you shaking? Eyes rimmed red, he dabbed my sweat. Sophie, we're stopping at 1, no more. At 8 centimeters, I clawed crescents into his hand. He never winced, only kept kissing my brow. I'm here, sweetheart. When it was time to enter the delivery room, he insisted on staying. The doctor warned, if you faint at the sight of blood, you're on your own. He answered, stone-faced, I won't. Then, the moment our baby slipped into the world, 6-foot Adrian hit the floor. Family of the new mother. Family. The nurse's shout floated above me. I lifted my head weakly. Is he alive? The doc didn't bat an eye. Overstimulated. He'll come around. Adrian revived just as they wheeled me back. He rushed to the bedside, eyes bloodshot. Sophie, are you okay? Perfect, I whispered, pointing at the bassinet. Go meet your daughter. Trembling, he peeled back the swaddle, then broke down again. She's so tiny. He breathed, brushing a fingertip across her cheek. She looks like you. I laughed through my tears. Adrian, we're parents. He bent to hug me, voice thick. Thank you, sweetheart. Eleanor and Maya burst in, turning the room into a carnival. Maya snapped photos like a paparazzo. Bro, your eyes are still red. I'm posting this to Instagram. Ignoring her, Adrian spoon-fed me porridge. Eleanor rocked her granddaughter, beaming. Have you picked a name? We exchanged a look and spoke at once. Sterling, Star Sterling, Adrian finished, translating. She's the star I'll never stop wishing on. Night fell, visitors gone, just the three of us. Adrian fumbled through his first diaper change, only to be christened by a fountain. She's bullying me, he complained. My laugh tugged at my stitches. So the mighty CEO meets his match? He nestled close and kissed me. I love you, sweetheart. Noted, I deadpanned. You've said it 800 times. I'm booked for life, he murmured, brushing my nose. This is only the beginning. Outside the window, the starlight was perfect. The day we were discharged, Adrian wrapped the baby and me up like 2 rice dumplings. Is this really necessary? I struggled to poke my head out of the scarf. It's only September. The doctor said no catching cold. He cradled our daughter with one arm and circled the other around me, looking exactly like a mother hen guarding her chicks. When we got home, we discovered a postpartum doula waiting in the living room. Aunt Wong, professional infant care specialist, Adrian introduced, 10 years of experience. I whispered, she must cost a fortune? He raised an eyebrow. Your husband short on cash? Typical nouveau riche attitude. In the middle of the night, while nursing, I nodded off. Adrian suddenly sat up. I'll do it. Huh? I mumbled, you don't have milk. Bottle. Like a magician, he produced the breast pump. You sleep, I'll handle it. Next morning I found him in the kitchen heating milk, sporting 2 giant panda eyes. Epic fail? I asked, swallowing a laugh. Yeah, he said, defeated. She cried all night, said my technique stank. I kissed his stubble. So there's something CEO Sterling can't do? He nipped my ear in retaliation. Sophie, just wait. The full moon banquet was spectacular. Adrian carried our daughter around showing her off like a trophy. College classmate heckled, Sterling, didn't you used to say you hated kids? Without batting an eye, that was before I had my daughter. Totally different. I rolled my eyes so hard they almost fell out. That night, back home, little Star, our nickname for her, suddenly ran a fever. Adrian panicked, spun in circles, then floored the G-class straight to the hospital. The ER doctor said it was just a common cold. Adrian wouldn't believe it. Are you sure? No need to admit her? Doctor sighed. Dad, please calm down. On the drive home his hand still trembled on the wheel. I spoke softly. Adrian, every parent goes through this. He was silent a moment, then said, now I finally get why my dad was so strict with me. I laughed and tugged his ear. Feeling sympathetic toward your old man? Yeah, he glanced at me. Sophie, let's have another. Get lost. On Star's 100-day milestone, Adrian mysteriously produced a velvet box. Don't tell me you're proposing again? I asked warily. We're all ready. Inside were 2 keys. School district townhouse, he said casually, covers kindergarten through high school. My jaw dropped. When did you buy it? 3 months into the pregnancy, he kissed the top of my head. Sophie, I want the best for you both. I laughed with teary eyes. Nouveau riche. He arched a brow. Don't like it? Love it to death. That night, after Star fell asleep, he pulled me onto the balcony to look at the stars. Adrian, I asked suddenly, do you ever regret it? Regret what? If the accident hadn't happened, would we have missed each other forever? He turned and hugged me. Never. Why not? Because I planned it, he grinned wickedly. At the classmate reunion I swapped your drink on purpose. I shoved him, shocked. Adrian. You set me up? He yanked me back, laughing low. How else could I trick you into becoming Sterling? I bit his shoulder in fury, he only laughed harder. The night breeze was gentle, the man in my arms, gentler still. Under the starlight our shadows melted together, as if they would stay that way until we were old. On Star's first birthday Adrian pulled a world-shaking stunt. He quit his job. What? I nearly dropped the puree bowl. Are you insane? Calmly he wiped pumpkin mush off our daughter's face. Going to be a full-time dad. I pressed a hand to his forehead. No fever. He caught my wrist. I still own company shares, enough to support you two for 10 lifetimes. It's not the money. I exploded. You live for work, I love you two more. He cut me off, eyes softer than I'd ever seen. First 30 years for career, next 30 for wife and kids, fair trade. My nose stung, I dropped my gaze and fussed with Star's little dress. That night, while cradling our sleeping girl, he said suddenly, let's move to I for 6 months. Huh? You said you loved the guest house there last time. He rocked her gently. I bought it. I stared, wide-eyed. When? Last month while I was in Yunnan on business, he grinned like a kid who'd stolen cookies. Owner wouldn't sell, so I added 5 times the price, this wasteful man. Sunrise at I was gorgeous. At dawn I leaned on the terrace railing, watching Adrian teach Star to walk. He stooped, arms wide, waiting patiently for her first wobbly step. Daddy, Star suddenly squealed, stumbling into his arms. Adrian froze, eyes instantly red. I snapped a photo and fired it into the family group chat. Maya replied instantly, my brother's tears are worthless haha mother-in-law video called, Xiaoyan can walk. Grandma sweetheart. Adrian spun with our daughter in his arms. My girl's a genius. I rolled my eyes. And who fell 3 times yesterday? He leaned in to nip my ear. Sterling, you've been awfully cocky lately. The Uri night breeze carried lake mist as he held us, watching the sky. Star had dozed off, tiny fist still clamped around his finger. Adrian, I said suddenly, let's try for a second baby. His hand jerked. Come again? Baby number 2, I poked his chest. Weren't you the one saying at least 3? He studied me a long moment, then scooped me up and strode toward the bedroom. Starting right now. Hey. She's still asleep. He kicked the door shut, pressed me onto the bed. Sophie, you said it yourself. Moonlight filtered through the gauze curtains, his eyes blazed. I looped my arms around his neck, smiling. Sterling, I'm in your hands. In the end we had 3. Whenever anyone brought up that runaway while pregnant tale, Adrian would solemnly correct them, my wife chased me first. And I'd roll my eyes. Have some shame? He'd steal a kiss while the kids shrieked with laughter. The starlight is still there, the years long and gentle. Thanks for listening to our story. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it? If you liked this video, please like and share it with friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more wonderful stories. See you next time.